excuse me just a second. Oh man, oh hey, man, you know what? It's been dry around here. It's been really, really dry. Even the thrift stores are dry. So I haven't done any recent vinyl updates in like almost 6 months, I think. Because it's been so dry around here, but that doesn't mean I haven't picked up anything. So I thought today I would do a vinyl finds album. This is going to look like a lot, but really when you consider it's been like 6 months, it's not really. And a lot of this comes off the internet, a little bit I've gotten locally. I haven't been to a local record store since November. So yeah, it's been almost 6 months. But anyway, hello everyone, by the way, vinyl community and everyone else watching this. So yeah, I'm going to go through these as quickly as I can. I'm going to do a vinyl update for you. We're going to start off with the Ramones Meltdown 10-inch. I'm sure most of you have seen this. It came out Record Store Day last year. I finally was able to get one. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it. It is on blue marbled vinyl. And it's pretty cool. It's reissue of the Ramones' first ever EP anyway. I think they'd already had an album out, but anyway. And speaking of the Ramones, it was my birthday recently and I bought myself a couple of presents. The reissue on Rhino of the Ramones' very first album. Got that for myself. And doing my cruddy Rolling Stones collection video, I thought I needed more Stones, and this is one of my favorites. I picked up this reissue of Beggars Banquet. It's from around 2002, and I got both of these at the local Barnes & Noble. They don't carry CDs, but they've started carrying vinyl, which I think is very odd but pleasant. And despite what some people said, the prices I don't think are bad. They're about average. So there you go. And at the same time this happened, I won an auction of a Rolling Stones lot on eBay, and I got an original version of the in America anyway, of the Beggars Banquet album, and it's in pretty decent shape. And I paid very little money for this, and it has the original gatefold. I mean, it's not perfect. It's probably a VG Plus, maybe slightly better, but it's not bad. Cover's pretty white. I also got Out of Our Heads, not in as good a condition, but I don't have Out of Our Heads. So there you go, and this is a mono on the maroon red London label. And playing behind me, I got High Tides and Green Grass, which I already have a mono copy of, but this is a nice stereo copy. Actually, it's not in great condition, but you can hear it in the background. It's got deep grooves, and I'm pretty happy with it. And they were all, I think, 12 bucks for the 3 of them, which is really, really good. Okay, I had to do this. I got the Animals Greatest Hits. I already have it, but this is the new one with some extra songs on it, and it's on clear vinyl. So that's, I think, really, really cool. As is the Herman's Hermit, same deal, greatest hits, but they've added some tracks now, remastered on 180 gram, both of them, clear vinyl. So cool there. This man is no longer with us. He's died recently, Kim Foley. So these have been around, but they're starting to get scarce, and I thought I'd get them, pick them up before they do become scarce. It's his early works that he did producing, and he's singing sometimes and playing other things. And this one is One Man's Garbage, actually. It's Volume 1. Volume 2 is Another Man's Gold. Volume 3 is King of the Creeps. And Volume 4 is Kim Foley's Technicolor Grease. And these things are interesting. They're cool. I like them. They're all on Norton Records. I think they did a really good job on them. So I'm pretty happy with those. I got this really cheap online and I couldn't believe it. It's Weezer's brand new album. I still haven't gotten around to playing it. Everything Will Be Alright in the End. I didn't even know what it was called, but I got this really, really cheap. I'm not sure why. It's got a couple stickers on the back, but the vinyl is perfect, and heck, it's Weezer's new album. I can't wait to hear it, actually. I got this, the Monkees, a Japanese copy of their first album with obviously a different cover than the one we're used to. There's the back with a whole lot of Japanese stuff on it. Has the Obi strip. And it's of course a much later reissue. It's on Arista Records. That was pretty cool and not terribly expensive. This is probably the best thing I got, and it was a real bargain. The Bee Gees, Odessa, the red felt cover. It's got a little bit of ring wear, but not much really. It's in really nice shape, I think. There's your date fold in there. And here's the best thing about it. It is indeed a white label promo copy of this 2-record set on Adco Records. I paid about $10 for this, and there was a sticker on the plastic on the front that they wanted 70 bucks for it, and to me that is just an outstanding bargain. Okay, we're going to keep going. Got a reissue of the Yardbirds Little Games LP on Sundazed Records. This was interesting, and again cheap. Pop Giants Volume 3. You've got the Beatles, The Move, and Procol Harum on here. The Beatles is the Tony Sheridan stuff. The Move and the Procol Harum are just like greatest hits. It's a French import, and it's on Polydor. And I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe my favorite Christmas song, the Kinks' classic Father Christmas on a 12-inch single. I just thought that was cool. I had to pick that up again, really, really cheap. It is, of course, a white label promo on Arista. A Rock and Roll Fantasy is on the other side. The Troggs, their first reunion album, Black Bottom. I haven't heard this yet either. This is a French LP on New Rose, and I really want to hear this. I did not have an original American copy of this. John Lennon, sometime in New York City. It's the double record set. There's the back. And it came with all the stuff. It's got the form that you're supposed to submit to keep John in America, and a petition to sign. It's got the postcard of the Statue of Liberty with it. And it's also got the original inner sleeves. There's the Army one right there, and just the back of that one, and the Mothers in the Plastic Ono Band sleeve. And these are all in really nice shape. The famous crossed out sleeve. And again, this was cheap. I don't know why. I got lucky, I guess. I recently saw this movie and had to get the soundtrack. The Man with the Golden Arm. I paid virtually nothing for this, and it's not in great shape, but the music to this movie was really, really good. It's an Otto Preminger film, and Elmer Bernstein did the music. And it's the first sort of freeform jazz score ever in a movie. And it's good, and I want to hear it again out of the movie. I went for this a little while ago. It's kind of an early birthday present. The first Hollies albums reissued on Sundays. Here's the first one. Here we go again. This was All Is a Lot. Here, the Hollies. The Hollies Beat Group. And the Hollies Bus Stop. All on Sundays. The original mono is what they went back to on this. And just had to do it. This is my other best find of recent times. Pink Floyd Masters of Rock. It's an album pressed in Holland. And what this has on it is all of the early Floyd. It's got the first 3 singles on it. Arnold Layne, See Emily Play, and Candy and a Currant Bun, which you can't find anywhere else. The Scarecrow is on this. Apples and Oranges, It Would Be So Nice, Chapter 24, Matilda Mother. Just really rare early Floyd, and the album is in almost mint, and I've been really into early Pink Floyd lately, and that is incredible. I had to pick this up, see what it was about. Bob Dylan, again, I got it fairly cheap. Bob Dylan's new one, Shadows in the Night, and it's good. He is singing better than he's sung in years. You know, show the back. And it reminds me a little bit of, I can't think of the name of the album. The one he won a Grammy for in about '96. Time Out of Mind. The instrumentation is a little like that. All the songs are really slow and quiet. Almost has a Hawaiian feel in places. But it's an interesting album anyway. I picked this up. What's Shakin'? This is an issue, a reissue in Britain on Edsel Records. And it's got early Love and Spoonful on it, Paul Butterfield Blues Band, Al Cooper, and Eric Clapton and the Powerhouse. This is what he did between John Mayall and the Cream. And in fact, it's got his first try at Crossroads is on this album. So it's an interesting record. And kind of folky, kind of, even the Crossroads is pretty much acoustic. It's just an interesting record, and I'm glad I got it. This was really cheap too. I had to get this. Old Neck and New Strings. Davy Allen of Davy Allen and the Arrows. This is a late 70s or early 80s record. And it sounds like he always did. It's pretty cool. A couple people, including Sydney in the vinyl community, alerted me to this. I've had this for quite a while now. The Courtney Barnett 2 EPs album. And this is some really good stuff. I recommend anybody checking this out. It's awesome. And I did get the version for The Cause. Both records are on really nice pink vinyl. The label colors change, but the vinyl is pink on both copies. And great album there. It's a double too, by the way. Picked this up fairly cheap. The Beatles' second album, Japanese copy. It does have an Obi strip, but it has been ripped. But it does have it. And it is an Apple copy, as you can see. And weirdly, for the Beatles' second album, it is a gatefold, which, of course, in America, it was not. There you go. And it's in really nice shape. Got this, for what it is, pretty cheap too, actually. The Beatles Love. It's still sealed, and I don't know when. I'll open it eventually to put something in my podcast, probably, but I do have it on CD, so I don't have any hurry in opening this. But I did spring for it, and I got it at a good price, and happy to own that. This is really good. This is one of my favorite late 80s, early 90s bands, Jellyfish. This is a second live album that has come out, and it's on clear vinyl, by the way. Blue clear vinyl, I believe. Oh, and check out this inner sleeve. This inner sleeve is just awesome. And this is mostly, if not all, acoustic numbers that they did one place or another. It's on very clear vinyl. And do a great cover of The Moves, I Can Hear the Grass Grow on here. So that's worth checking out. About the latest She and Him, not the latest actually, the one before, the third She and Him album. They're alright. I don't love them. I don't hate them. They're just sort of music. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if this is on colored vinyl or not. Yes, it is. I thought it might be. It is on, in fact, very blue, very marbled vinyl. It's pretty cool. Probably why I bought it. This is sort of the best of Ken Nordine, who I've showed you his Colors album before. He basically did spoken word jazz. It is looking all psychedelic and cool there in the gatefold. And I don't even know what this is called. It only says it on the spine in really small letters. How are things in your neighborhood? It's on Blue Thumb and it's a double. And it's a great album. Pretty cool. Another loungy sort of thing. Mel Hankey, Dynamic Adventures in Sound. This album is getting tougher to find. And he does a lot of sort of standards, and I don't even know what you'd call it. It's pre-psychedelia, but he plays with them, sonically anyway. And there's your diagrams for how we recorded it and how your setup should be and things like that inside. It's a really quality product. And his album, La Dolce Henke, is like #1 on my want list right now. It's really hard to find. And his stuff is that interesting that I wanted to find it. Picked this up really cheap, the best of Esquivel on RCA Records. It's nice to have some Esquivel in decent quality. You can find it, but it's usually beat up. I bought 2 Living Stereo albums, really, really cheap. I bought them together. This one is Gershwin Rhapsody in Blue by the Boston Pops Orchestra. And I bought these for the sound quality because they are on the Shaded Dog label on RCA, as you can see there. So they were really, really cheap. And Boston Pops again with Stardust. I won't show you the label, the same thing. Both excellent fidelity records and really nice shape. Changing gears entirely, here's Stiv Bators' LA Confidential on Bomp Records. This is sort of, I think, pretty much everything he ever recorded for Bomp Records on one glorious red vinyl LP. Almost done. The soundtrack to a movie, Looking for Johnny, The Legend of Johnny Thunders. There's some other people on this besides Johnny Thunders, and there's a lot of unreleased tracks, live stuff, and some of his best stuff is on here as well. It's a really good compilation, and I'll show you 2 things. One, if I can get it out, also on red vinyl, and it is a double record. And the copies are numbered, and I have number 101, which I think is pretty good. I was pretty happy when I got that. Just a couple more here. The Dandy Warhols, I think their best album, 13 Tales from Urban Bohemia. This has got, if you know anything by them, it's got Bohemian Like You and Get Off, which would be the 2 songs that most people would know. And it's a double, again, on colored vinyl. One record is orange, and the other is clear. So that's a pretty cool thing. Just 2 more left. Eddie and the Hot Rods, One Story Town. This is an EP and it's live, and it is a British EP on Waterfront Records. And I have not heard this yet. It's recorded live in France in May of 1985, which is a little late for them, so I don't know how good it's going to be, but it was fairly cheap, and I really wanted to hear that. I'm a big Eddie and the Hot Rods fan. And last but not least, again, cheap, and Bob Dylan's Biograph Sampler. It's promo only LP. It is not white label though, however. It's got these tracks on it. And I'll show you the label. It does say demonstration, not for sale, but it is not a white label promo. So there you go. I know it seems like a lot, but actually for about 6 months, it's not all that much. I want to thank everybody that watches me, and my I have 1 or 2 new subscribers. I've forgotten your names. JP or something is one of them, and I'm sorry, I'm sure that's not your name. It's just a pair of initials, though. I remember that. So anyway, thank you for subscribing. Thank you to all the regulars and the people that make the vinyl community so great. Robert Z, Trish Mullins, Mr. Eli, of course, Retro 2, Dean, Paniques, White 1960, Rock Boy 680. I know I'm missing bunches of you. Chris at Dixieland Farm, you guys are all amazing, and I can't believe that you guys watch my videos. It just makes me very happy. I'm also thinking of doing a video on my garage rock collection, because a couple people, Matt shows some garage, and so does the Hogsy Report, but they're more site guys, so I'm thinking of doing a garage video. I probably will. But, so until then, again, thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and check out my podcast, snapcracklepop.podomatic.com. It's the Snap, Crackle, and Pop Vinyl Hour. And a few of you have, and thank you for that as well. And thanks for watching. Bye.